Get ready for an Apple car? Well, maybe not. Executives reportedly scouting locations to test self-driving cars near the Apple headquarters right now. But Dave Maney says, judging by how long it took them to make this TV, Apple fans probably shouldn't get their hopes up too high. Dave, I don't know that they were ever as enthusiastic about the TV as some Apple heads might have been, but the car sounds a little sexier.
Well, it sounds sexy, Charles, but I think you start to get under the covers and it's a lot more complex than it looks at first glance. I think one of the things that Silicon Valley, or a couple of things that Silicon Valley does really well, are greenfield things, or something like Uber where they can step in and kind of surround a market without a huge amount of logistics and moving things on the ground. The car business doesn't work that way. It's got giant physical requirements, and so you can do something like an operating system like Google does for Android. But if you start trying to say, I want to build a whole car, you got regulatory mess, labor mess, materials, subcontractors. It's a different ballgame.
Although that path has already been blazed by people like Google and others, so they don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. And certainly there's all kinds of pressure on Washington, not just with this, but with drones and other parts of technology that I think will be inevitable in the American life. And it's up to D.C. again to expedite it or not, or expedite it rather. But why wouldn't Apple be successful in this? Because it doesn't seem like it's as hard as it was even a couple years ago.
Well, I mean, if you look at what Tesla did, Tesla didn't build a factory from the ground up. Tesla went in and bought a factory from the Toyota GM joint venture, the NUMMI Works, and got a giant head start in that way. There's not a lot of kind of, high-tech, cutting-edge manufacturing plants laying around to do that. And if you think, well, maybe they'll just do what they do with the phones themselves and have some, giant Chinese factory that makes them all, I think it's a lot more complicated than it looks.
All right, Dave, thank you very much, buddy. We really appreciate it.